Yes, Kader, it's me.
Okay. And I know that Greg has some commitments for next 3 weeks, and he mentioned that some of members from his team will join today for the update. So Ashwak, thanks for joining. Ashwin, thanks for great presentation last week. And today the goal is to have the third team to present what they have been doing. And from the next week onwards, we collectively start working on how to help you guys to start building the team and realize your mission and vision, what you have. So that's the goal of today's session. So let me ask, Mickey, are you ready? Your team is ready to present today, or you're not ready to present today?
Yeah, I could present today.
Okay, this is good. So for those, I think most of you all already part of this program. I know that Fallon, let me a little bit explain you. I kind of mentioned that this program is about bringing non-tech people and have them to learn tech and help them to become entrepreneurs. A number of things that we have been training the team. We have formed 3 teams actually. So 3 teams, I think total number of 15, 16 members. So some people from 3 teams regularly join this Friday weekly meeting, and we learn a lot of things together, right? And start building towards the goal of becoming an entrepreneur towards by end of this year. So that's pretty much it is. And we have gone through already almost like 20 sessions. So Fallon, it's not the new program, right? It's a continuation of the program, but you would not miss any. All the sessions has been recorded and published in the YouTube. You're always welcome to go back and look at it. And I hope that helps pretty much. Okay, all right. So Mickey, having said that, I'll leave the floor.
Kada,
Yes.
I invited someone to the meeting, but apparently he didn't get the confirmation from Eventbrite. Is it possible you can post the link in the chat so I can forward to him?
Yeah, sure. So this meeting link, right? Microsoft Teams
Yes.
meeting. Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Mickey, can you help on that? Mickey, Shahad,
Yeah, I'm setting it right now. And then I'll share my presentation then.
Yeah, the link is posted for you, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll post about the WhatsApp even as well, Carter.
Perfect. So I'll leave the floor to you, Mickey. I have a hard stop early today, but yeah, I'll leave the floor to you. Let's get that going. So pretty much with this week, all the 3 teams they would have completed their presentation based on all the learnings that we have done together. And from next week onwards, we will split our program into 2. For 30 minutes would be we will start working together the strategy on 3 action points that we built together. The first action point is identify the trusted advisor who can support your startup idea, whatever that you have. And then the second goal is to build your team, advertise yourself, think like an entrepreneur, advertise yourself and build your team stronger. That's the second action point. And then the last action point of what we are going to do is start working on whatever is required so that you can start building your idea, whatever, into a product, right? And a good example is, Mickey, I trust that yesterday you guys had a session to learn how to about cloud, if I'm not wrong.
On Kit, next week we're going to on talk for the next 2 weeks.
Perfect. So you guys should join them and learn for sure. So I'll let you, Mickey, to start presenting. I see Bryce. Hey, Bryce, is this your first time you're joining? I just want to check on you. Can you hear us, Bryce? We can see you. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Mickey. Please.
Yeah. So my name's Mickey Kumar. Most of you guys know me from Testoper. So today I'm going to be presenting for our artificial squad. So in this group, it's me and Corita. I don't know if Corita is joined right now or not, but
Coretta,
she's a,
Coretta is
Yes,
joined.
I'm here. Hello.
yeah. So do you want to introduce yourself before I begin?
Sure. My name's Coretta. I joined the community because I like technology. Right now I really want to build up my development skills, so I'm excited about learning how to build powerful applications. I just want to build applications that help people for the better, so change lives for the better overall.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. All right. So like I said, many of you know me, but before I begin, talk about our product and everything. So I have been working for a Testoper for almost a year and couple months. So usually I help with the operation side. And a little bit of background on me, it's that I recently graduated from artificial intelligence from University of Toronto, and I've done like finance background in accounting and a little bit in finance, Python and data science in my past educations. And other than that, work-wise, I'm usually a freelancer. I usually like help people here and there. And yeah, that's pretty much me.
Thanks, Mickey. So for those who do not know, right, the Testoper community is a non-profit and we don't have any full-time employees. The complete community is run by the volunteers. Some of you who have joined this program are volunteers, some of you are not. Feel free to join and support, running the show. You're always welcome to support anything that we are trying to do for the great cause.
Yeah. So let's get started. So for our idea for this group, we decided we want to look at candidate resumes, and a way to look at the resumes is to match with job opportunities using AI technology. So I know like there's lots of job boards and LinkedIn that had to create jobs and everything. But what we want to focus on is mainly on the candidate put the resume. Our AI technology will read the resume and then like we'll scrape a job from other sites that fits best and suitable for you. Oh, our mission is to help job seekers save time finding desired opportunities based on their skill set. Because we believe if they, let's say if I upload my resume, we want to save people's time, like not looking for the job. Our AI technology will help with that. And so our vision is to start job seekers in Canada and then move to around the world and help them find their dream job. So right now it's I'm taking the lead, and then I have Corita running and her skills as well as will be helping with the developers. We're looking for more developers. And we're also looking for people who can handle more in the business side. I know like the larger of the business side because I've done the accounting background and the entrepreneurships in my courses, but I'm looking for people who can help support more in that.
Yeah, so that's the message for Bryce, whoever has joined today newly, as well as Fallon. If you can help, want to join Mickey's team and help him to build his vision together, that could really help a lot of people that are out there. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, Carter. That's again just a little bit about me. So, like I say, all my studies and everything's here. I have more in a finance background. At the top right, it's all like my technologies I've been working with in the past and like now. And the next level project is my freelancer project where I help individuals grow as personal brand. So that's like my off the Testoper, off it I do. So our competitors, when we looked at our competitors, we knew that there's a lot many competitors in this field, but we want to see if they had the technology, AI technology that we had. So we focused on three right now, but we'll be adding more. So right now we looked at Clearflitter, LinkedIn, and Squarebase. So we did an analysis to see what like features they had. So when we build our product, we will know what features to add and which one we can probably like scrape or something off Indeed or something if we need it, or should we add in our product? We also over here we have like features 2, features 3. So we're still looking at other features, and also we could be adding other competitors as well. So for revenue wise, we were looking at how we can make money. Because like Carter said in the previous session, you have to think how you were paid like the bills and everything. So we looked at different models and we decided to do a transaction-based model, which means that most of you will understand it based on like subscription payments. So that means that we're taking like this, while around $5 a month for our services, and we also they were thinking about free one. But then to have a free plan, but we still have to look at the features we can put to see which one we'll put in a free and which one we'll put in a paid for $5 per month per user. And then
One of the things that I can tell you is, Mickey, there's also a message for everyone in here. In my company, I would probably start looking. I was looking for a DevOps engineer and a front-end senior engineer, but front-end senior engineer opportunity was scrapped. So the DevOps engineer I was looking for, I did some post, as you guys have already seen in the Testoper community. We were able to secure someone and offer the job for that. And I'm also expecting, in next 2 to 4 months, not 2 to 4 weeks or maybe 6 weeks, number of new positions, at least 6 to 10 positions that I will be opening up in my company itself. And I just hope that you guys, if you are fit and you are able to secure that, I would be happy, right? And also anyone that you know would like to join Testoper, join that, apply for that job. I'll keep you guys posted when I open up those activities. Now, why did I say that is when I was trying to do that, just a little bit of background, right? I joined as a senior VP for a company in California, and I'm trying to help them to establish their subsidiary in Canada, right? That's what I'm trying to do. So when we were trying to do this, we were researching what are the different ways that we can acquire the talents for our company. And one thing that I wanted to highlight, Mickey, there was when we looked at LinkedIn, they were charging like $29 for a one job post per day to promote, right? And
yes.
many other Indeed and all, they charge like $25, $30 to promote one job per day, right? And if you go to the consultants, they probably charge per the whole 1 month and 2 month of a salary of the employee that they give, resumes that they give, that they eventually get selected. or they charge like 10% of their monthly charge, 10 to 20% of their monthly salary as a commission for them. So this particular field is really very expensive, and if your solution can address that pain, I think a lot of companies would really love to take the advantage of your product. But the issue would be that it's a very complex market, right? I mean, your product is addressing B2C and also B2B. When that's the case, right? Marketing your product and getting people to bringing in a lot of resumes into your product and have a meaningful outcome of helping the companies to recruit through your solution is going to take time, and it's going to be challenging. But I wanted you to remember that. Okay.
Yeah. We know it's a very competitive and everything. We know that.
But however, right, this
Yeah.
Testoper project program is not about you building a successful business. Of course, if it happens, that's good. But what this Testoper program is all about is for you to go through this and learn the process and build one thing in this process, so that next time when you build, you can really build a strong company that would result in generating the big revenue and so on. So even though the idea that you have is going to be a very complex idea, but at least I'm confident that you will implementing this idea. You will go through the process of doing multiple things. What is required to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah. So we also looked at the sales forecast, and that's one we're looking at paid. So after the product has been built, then year one would start. So it's not right now. So we're thinking of starting with 500 active users per month, because there will be demand as the market grows for jobs in Canada and in the world. So we predict that the users will be 500, will be good active users, and then we just double that each year. And then the sales are just calculated with $5 per user per month, and then double it. But this is only a prediction, and we know that it can go up and down as well. Then for the expense, we're still looking at the expense, but the software we're planning to use is Python and Django, and we're planning to use a couple of APIs. For hosting, Heroku, it offers, I think, for free. So we would think of deployment and everything to start off with that. And then they also have like other planned ones. But if it's not if the product turns good, we might move it to like AWS or Azure in the hosting. And payload, we left that out right now because first we want to build and see how it goes. So we also did that for testing. So the previous one was on development. We did that also in testing. So we did prototypes, what products, and user testing. We're still figuring out the costs and if there is any. And we also did for management. So like marketing, advertising, and how much will it cost for monitoring and support. For support, we're looking at if we're going to do email based only, or are we going to have like a ticket system and live chats, and also a quality management. So our next steps will be to grow the team, create the requirements needed, and to start building the product. And then at the end, we did a sample timeline just to show where we're planning. So in August, we're maybe dates might change here and there, but we're planning to finish all the business tasks that was so looking at it. So any outstanding ones, which when Carter you explained. try to bring our team up to 5 and start looking at the development of the project. And then in October, we're planning to continue developing the project. In example, we're going to test the product and plan how to launch. And then in January, maybe in February, depending on how the other two times goes, we could launch the pilot version of the product. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's all.
It's really good. So first, thanks, Mickey.
Yeah, no problem.
My video works. All right. I don't know if my video works or not. Looks like it's not for some reason. This today. Oh, okay, it's coming.
Yeah.
All right, good. So first of all, I wanted to really thank all the 3 teams who have presented, the session. I mean, in last 3 weeks, one thing that I'm really proud of, and you all have to be proud of, is whatever that we have learned since last 20 sessions have got you to where you are today, right? You were able to define mission, vision, and you're able to, take a leadership based on the leadership skills that we have learned. Based on you're able to build a small team. Of course, you need to build a bigger team based on the team forming structure that we learned. And I'm really very happy to see all the 3 teams progress from where we were when we started on January, from the blank white sheet to whatever that we are today. I'm very, very happy, guys. Kudos to you all. Keep up the good work, first of all. Okay. Now we need to take the next step. So what is our next step? Now it's that now you really know what you wanted to do, whether it's going to become commercial or not, but we need to move to the next step. So far, what we have done is I'll go through that so far what we have done. But before that, what's the next step? So the first next step is you as a team have to find the trusted advisor. So we talked about Elizabeth, Greg team to really go and talk to the schools and universities in Brampton area to understand their real problem and refine your idea, right? That's very, very important. And I advise the same thing for Ashwin, your team, as well as Mickey, your team. Okay, you need to go out and you need to validate that, right? Whether through the social media, whatever, you need to validate that. That's the first thing that I wanted to tell as a next step that you all the 3 teams have to do. And the next step, what you need to do is assume the leadership and whatever that you have learned so far. Try to present yourself. This is what you're trying to do, and try to get more members and build your team. Now I'm going to help you with that. Okay. And what I need from you is to start creating some kind of a write-up about what you are trying to do and why some people should really come and help you in whatever that you are trying to do. Right. So start thinking on that direction and start creating some write-up. It need not have to be a page write-up. It could be just 2 or 3 sentences. That's good enough. And start creating that write-up. And you need to assume the entrepreneurship role, a leader role, to start building your own team. Think like when you start your own company, what do? You build your team, right? You act like a leader and you build whatever that we have learned so far and you have put together. You will start doing that and you will continue to mature. So the second key thing that you need to focus on is building your team. Okay. First one is, please take every one of you take the action point, identify the trusted advisor to validate your idea and refine them. Okay. Second one is build your team who can help you to realize the vision that you have in your mind together as a team. Okay. So that's the most important thing. Second one, building the team. And then the third one that you need to focus on is you have some base. Now you need to refine your base and you have to turn whatever the presentation that all the 3 teams presented into a pitch deck. So last week I gave a number of examples of the pitch deck. I also have posted it today. The link, go and study them, understand them, and then see how you can develop your pitch deck these are the top pitch decks, right? That closely aligns to. So what happens here is that you create an expertise, how you can position yourself in front of them. So you are able to make them, number one, listen to you. Number two, come and help you in any ways. It could be right as a volunteer or any capacity. Okay, so that creating the pitch deck is going to be most critical thing for you guys to do. So remember these three things that you need to take as an action and start working on this. And we will discuss about these three things in the first 30 minutes from next week onwards. Okay, so all the three teams start working on this. Whatever the progress that you have, you're going to give update. Every team will be given 10 minutes. You give update on the progress on these three action points for the first 30 minutes in our next session, next Friday session. Okay, and then the remaining 30 minutes, what we are going to do is I'll do a quick recap of what we have learned so far, and we need to continue the learning. Okay, just give me a second here. Okay, so we decided to learn together and develop our skills in four key areas, right? So the first key area that we wanted to develop our skills or something called as a foundational elements. So we created this, we went through this whole thing. We learned about personal abilities and attributes. We learned about different topics within that, right? Leadership, teaming, decision making, finance. We learned about all these things. Now, what makes me really happy is you were able to understand these concepts and you were able to really articulate that into your presentation. That really makes me very, very happy. And then the second thing that we learned was making the market your primary focus, understanding the industry, competition, customers. How do you segment the market? Who are you focusing to build the solution, whatever that you're trying to build the solution? And how you are actually forecasting and how you are setting up the milestones. You showed Mickey the roadmap, that was really good. And strategic planning, you are able to start thinking these are all the things that I need to do to really achieve it, right? So all these things that we learned together, you are able to, if not fully, but at least I see bits and pieces that in all the three presentations that team presented in last 3 weeks, that gives me an immense happiness that you have learned something and we have together learned something. So in parallel, we are also trying to develop our technical skills. See, end of the day, you need a technical skills in addition to the all soft skills to build your product, right? And I'm happy that you're using some of the tools that we have provided, and also I'm happy that we are organizing some additional sessions for you guys to develop your technical skills. On that context, by the way, tomorrow is our last session of how to build a microservice architecture. How to build app using microservice architecture, presented by Kavita. You know that last week we got to cancel because Kavita's, she had someone passed away. I don't want to really say who. But she is back and she wants to come back with full force and help you guys to finish that session. Please make sure you join tomorrow's session to support her. In spite of the difficult times she went through, she wants to come back and help the community to learn. And that's what really makes me happy, right? No matter what challenge that we go through, we all as a volunteer come together and help ourselves to learn together. This is really good. So we, that is something that you're learning. And also Mickey is trying to set up next 2 weeks programs to help you guys understand the basics of DevOps, what you need to know as a DevOps in DevOps to learn and build your product and host your product. So sorry?
It's gonna be for a month, but it can be extended as well.
Sure. But the most important thing is what I wanted you all to understand is we are providing as a volunteer, providing a platform for each other to learn and become an entrepreneur. That's the most important thing. Outside of these foundational elements, when it comes to the skill development, you have already attended number of programs that we have done in the past, right? And I'm pretty sure most of you have attended all the programs that we have done in the past. Thanks for that. And I also wanted to remind you that we have some new programs that's coming up after the build app with microservice architecture ends this week, Saturday, and the projects will continue till the year end, right? You all know that. So there is going to be 6 programs that we have planned for the second half of this year. And some of them is going to teach you on test automation. Some of you is going to teach you on Docker and Kubernetes and AI, right? The advanced, we had a basics of AI, and the next session is going to help you to learn natural language processing in AI. So please feel free to join them and learn. Why I wanted to show this is because it's very important in the foundational element that we discussed. It's not only enough to learn the soft skills and learn what is required for you to become an entrepreneur, making your market a primary focus, but also you got to balance yourself and learn the technical skills, or bring in the technical people to achieve the vision of what you wanted to achieve. So this is the foundational element we complete, and we went through a number of things. Now, what is the second thing that we are going to go through from our next week onwards, right? Is we are going to continue on product, learn on the product management life cycle. So it's that you're now strong in foundation, and you are able to create your decks, and you are able to present. That means our first exercise is complete. Okay. So now what we need to go through is to help you understand, when you start having an idea, what are all the different phases that you go through to build your products. Right? We talked about concept phase, but we will refresh the concept phase in our next week. And then we will start going into feasibility phase, definition phase, development, launch, and then after launch. So what happens in all these phases, and what you need to know, the minimum that is required for you to further develop your skills by yourself, so that you are able to take an idea and all the way to releasing the product and managing the product that you have released. So that's what we are going to learn the next 30 minutes from next session onwards. I want to split it into two things. First 30 minutes is to make sure that you achieve those 3 action points, whatever the help that you need from me to help you achieve those 3 action points. So remember those 3 action points. First one is a trusted advisor. Second one is developing your pitch deck, right? Sorry, developing your team. And the third one is developing your pitch deck. These are the 3 things that you need to continue to work on while you are developing your skills, how you go through in the process of developing the product all the way to the launch and post launch. So that's the second thing that we are going to learn, and I expect the second thing to go on for next 4 to 6 weeks, or maybe even 8 weeks. Okay, so once that is through, then what we will learn, the third step, what we will learn is the delta that you need to know to become an entrepreneur. Right? Most of it we would have already covered by product management life cycles and the foundation elements. Most of it we would have covered, and even the pitch deck is something we would have covered. And outside of that, there are some additional skills that you need to have, very basic skills that you need to have, and you need to develop yourselves to become an innovator and entrepreneur. That's the third thing that we will go through. And when we go through that, I will introduce you to a lot of incubators that are available, right? Pre-seed incubators that are available here in Brampton and in Toronto and in the Peel region, where you can go and register yourself as a startup and start building your team. Take your team from here and go and build there and get approval there and start building your company and become successful, right? So there are missing pieces for you to become an entrepreneur, and different places that you can go and get help from, pre-seed incubators and many places that I will introduce you, and how you need to prepare to go there and start building your startup. That would be our third goal, where you will learn the missing piece of entrepreneurship, what you need to do as a next step. And the fourth piece is, while we are doing all these 3 things in parallel, you're building the team and start implementing the MVP and have an MVP available before end of this year. So these are the 4 things that we will go through. And I'm happy to say that the first milestone we have achieved, and we will start from the second milestone from the next week, and we will move forward. So with that, I wanted to open the floor for any questions anyone has for today. Nikki, Ashwak, Ashwin, Bryce, Darren, Elizabeth, Ethel, Mukit, Pankaj, any questions?
No.
No?
Not on my end.
Anyone?
That was a lot of information. I'm just taking notes here.
Yes, yes. No worries, right? You will continue to learn the additional stuff we are all going to learn together.
I have one question, Kader, regarding that trusted advisor.
So what is your suggestion where we can go ahead and look for trusted advisor?
So what is your mark? You got to answer yourself the question, the market segment that you're going to address.
We are addressing the general market for quick work, where we are helping to the uh, home people to work for their different necessities of work.
Yes. So unfortunately, this is a COVID days, Ashwin. If it is not, I would have said that next, in your wherever you are living, you have go to all the neighbors, whoever you know, friends, and everyone, and ask them, right? What the real problem that you face, right? So probably what you can do is you can start talking to the Testoper project members to understand what real problems that they face, and then maybe you can capture on that and pick one idea. If you remember in your last presentation, I told you, I gave you one advice to pick one area.
Yes,
And the
yes,
area that we were talking about is, see, your project specialty is you wanted to uh, encourage non-professionals to make some additional money based on the expertise that they have, that they can help others.
yes,
So we talked about in the family, a lot of people organize parties and for their kids and for the families, and they have good knowledge on organizing parties as an example. So maybe you can take that as an MVP and create a product where people who has expertise in organizing the party, but not a contractor or a company, comes and puts their profile and like for example, if I wanted to organize a party for my son's birthday, I would prefer to pick someone who has already done it, and if they can help me, I would be happy to do that, right? So you got to think like that. Some idea, that's an example. Some idea like that, and target that. Then go and search who could be your potential trusted advisor from that point of view. So the answer to your question is, first you need to narrow down what is your MVP. That is why I gave you in your last presentation also same example to help you understand that.
yeah, yes, Radha.
Yeah. Make sense?
I have one more question about finance part. Just last time we discussed that my team need to be work around and look that how much finance we required to further develop this project. So regarding that part, you suggest to be talk to some subject matter expert. So just looking to check where should we go further to check about the finance figures and other stuffs.
So there's a couple of things, right? You can actually build the budget based on whatever that you learned in the financial statement session in our foundational element. Okay, and you can create a runway. But now you have to remember, we trained and we learned all those things together, so that when you are starting a real company, these are all the things that you need to do. But in this case, as of today, what you're trying to do is you're trying to build your product, bringing all the volunteers together. So in practice, you don't have a cost, right? And from the Testoper point of view, we are also providing you the tools like Microsoft Teams and all those things for you to collaborate. So you don't have a cost. So the reason that I wanted you all to start thinking about the financial planning is because in the real world, you got to do that. And you will anyways cover that part already now when you're learning the pitch deck. You will learn how to do that. If you go and see how the pitch decks has been made, you will learn how to create the financing, how much cost is required for you to do. At least from the mock point of view, you'll be able to create. So once you are able to finish your pitch deck, or in the process of finishing your pitch deck, you will learn the answer to the question that you have, Ashwin. Okay, so I wouldn't really worry about the the literal meaning of the finance. Oh, I need $50,000 to implement this project. I wouldn't worry about. But I would worry about a mock finance. If I have a real employee, if I keep the real employee employed, and I have to pay him salary, or I have to give him share for the company, and so on, then what would be my finance? Like a mock finance, I wanted you to create, at least for now. When we get to the fourth stage, where you would get into the incubator and you'll start working with the incubator to do things and so on. You will learn more advanced things there to really go behind some grants that are available and go and pitch to the investors. And if investor gives you the money, provided if your idea is unique, then whatever that you have learned now as a mark will really help you in the real world. Make sense?
Yeah, thanks, Kader.
So right now your focus should be to get the technical advisor, right? Unfortunately, in your case, it's going to be all your friends and colleagues who is looking for the house chores to get done, right? Depending upon the MVP that you're trying to do, they are going to be your customer that you're going to validate your MVP. And the second the important thing for you is building the right team or helping the existing team to develop the skills to implement the MVP. That should be your main focus right now, Ashwin. At least my recommendation.
Yeah, thanks, Kader. Thanks.
All right. So the last thing for today is if you look at the um, text here, there is again I posted the Airtable pitch deck, so you can go and review how our different companies really create a pitch deck, how they position their companies. You will learn a lot from there. And when we are learning towards the process in between in some session, probably we can review a pitch deck together. Okay, I will plan something and we will review it together and we will learn how these guys are doing it. But it's also good that you put some time, take some time to learn it by yourself. So I've put that one. And I also believe that some of the volunteers in Testoper community, they have put here the link. So I know that at least a couple of members, Bryce and Fallon, are new. So Bryce and Fallon, we use Microsoft Team for collaboration before and after. So you can always follow the instruction in the chat, join the WhatsApp group and send your first name, last name and email address. Our team will add you into the Microsoft Team. So you will be able to collaborate with the volunteers in Testoper community before and after and take help from each other and so on. Okay, so those are the key messages I wanted to give. Any other questions or comments? Are we all good?
Yeah,
So
I think so.
Fallon and Bryce, you joined newly. Any comments from your end before we close for today?
No, for me, Bryce.
Today was great. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. It was so informative, and I'm really glad that I got to join. I really can't wait to come back. There's so much good stuff here, and there's so much room for growth. So that's awesome. It's great to meet you guys.
Keep us, you can always reach out to me at testoper@testoper.com. Okay, that's a general email. If we can be any help to the great work that you are doing, right? If you wanted to provide some technical sessions or anything to some of the people that you serve, we would be happy to support you on that. If someone wants to learn a computer, how to use the computer, or someone wants to learn the basic programming like Python in your community that you serve, we'll be happy to support you. And we are nonprofit. We like to really support as much as that we can.
Believe it or not, there's more than you think, and there's so many people I come in contact with that are very young and they're not so tech savvy and they're looking for a place to learn. So that's great. Thank you.
Help to educate them about Testoper, have them to join. It's a volunteer-led organization, right? It's not a profit organization. It's not run by employees. It's run by all volunteers. So yeah, we have a number of programs. You can look it up in Eventbrite. Some of the programs we have attendees like 20 to 25, and projects we have like 10 to 15. We want to grow this to 25 before end of this year. And some of the programs that we do meet up, we have like 80 to 100 attendees attending. So yeah, feel free to help us promote in your circle, and feel free to ask us if we can be of any help. Bryce, any comments from you?
No, sorry, I have been lost because I started a little bit late the meeting. But
no worries.
Thank you.
Your first name and last name and email address. We will add you into the Microsoft Teams, And once you are in the teams, you will get all the information about where we are posting. These videos will be posted. You will know where it is posted, how it is posted. You can always go and look through them and learn, Bryce.
Okay, I'm out from the chat because I was trying to change the account. So
sorry,
I was trying to change my Teams account because I'm using my company account, and now I'm out from the chat. I cannot send the message on the chat.
no, copy in the chat. I'm sharing it here, right?
Yeah.
What you can do is you can just go, copy this WhatsApp group, join the WhatsApp group, and then there you can send it. Copy and keep it before you exit the Teams. The question is, Fallon. It's pretty simple, Fallon. You can go to youtube.com and search Testoper, right? I'll show you in the screen.
Okay.
Just youtube.com, Fallon, and just search here Testoper.
Okay.
This is and you would see the Testoper community, and if you go there, you can actually see all the videos that we have been, all the trainings that we have done and we have been providing for last 1 year and 4 months since the inception of this community is here.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
Thank
you.
Please make sure, Bryce, you make a copy of this WhatsApp group and send your details, first name, last name, and the email address. We will add you into the Microsoft Teams so you can help contributing towards the community as any other volunteers we all do together.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So with that, let's close for today's session. And I sincerely recommend you all to come back and support tomorrow if you can, right? Kavita's session. In spite of all the challenges she's went through, she's coming back and train us the last session. Appreciate you all joining that session if it is applicable for you. See you guys tomorrow. If not, see you next week, Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.